bike touring y pues vamos a ver qué nos cuenta de toda su experiencia. Hola Ruby. Hi Ruby.
Hola.
Can you tell us about how your whole experience with this trip? How did you wake up and tell, hey, I gotta go around the world and in my bike or something like that? And how did you do this? Because it's not easy.
Well, basically, I just went into work one day and my boss said to me, where do you see yourself in 1 year's time? And my boss was asking me within relation to working, but out of nowhere popped into my head, I see myself cycling around the world. And it surprised me as much as it surprised my boss, who thought I was going to be at the workplace for a long time. So after saying that out loud, I thought, well, maybe if I've said this, maybe it is something I would really like to do. So I did a little bit of research into how feasible it is to cycle around the world, because I didn't know anyone who had done it before. I didn't even know that sort of thing existed. And so I had a little look into it. I thought, yeah, this is something I would love to do. I love travelling, I love cycling. On a bicycle you get to meet lots of local people, you get to go into the heart of small towns and tradition, and you're not just in the really touristy places, you get a mixture of it all. And I thought, yeah, this is something which really appeals to me. And after that, I took on the challenge, and I've been loving it ever since. It's been incredible.
So you weren't a biker before?
I would cycle to work on a single speed bicycle, but I had never gone up a mountain on my bicycle. The most I'd done in one time was maybe 30 kilometers to the closest town nearby.
Yeah, that makes it
not much.
More difficult, right? Because I think that for me it will be easier, because in the past I was a biker and I went to the mountains. Maybe it will be easier, but somebody like you that
a novice.
A novice, it will be harder, right?
I think a little bit harder, but I think the most bit was just the fear of, can I actually do this? Am I setting too big a challenge? And not knowing if I could climb a hill or even get to a town 50 kilometers away, it was a little bit daunting. And all the things in your head, what if I get a problem with the bicycle? What if this happens? So it was a lot of what ifs before I left. But actually when you start pedaling, you realise as long as you can cycle, that's all you need to do at the end of the day, just pedal. And anyone can do that, so it's actually been a bit easier than I thought it would be.
Okay. And tell me about the countries that you have visited right now.
So I've visited probably 26 countries in total on my bicycle, and the ones which stand out the most have been Mexico and India and Iran, and all for different reasons. Iran was very different because being a female in Iran, you don't have so many rights. You have to walk around wearing a headscarf and be totally covered.
Even that if you are not from there?
Yeah, it's against the law. So if a policeman goes past you and you've got your arm on show or any of your hair on show, you can be arrested. So all the time you need to be covered up. And coming from a country where women and men have pretty much the same rights, it felt very strange, and it was the first country I've ever really appreciated what freedom means. And it's only when your freedom is taken away you realise how important it is. So Iran stuck out, but what stuck out most, often Iran is portrayed as very dangerous, lots of terrorists, and it was a country where every night I was invited by a local, a stranger I'd never met before, into their home every night, and the kindness I was shown in Iran I'll never forget. So that's a really standout country. India was a second country. Because some of my origins are from India, I felt an instant connection, and it was just such a vibrant place. There's always colour, music. Every part of the road is taken up by someone cooking something or selling something, so the smells are amazing, they're intoxicating. And because of the Hindu religion, there's so many gods in the religion, So every day there's another fiesta celebrating one of the gods, so there's often a party atmosphere. So I loved India just for the vibrancy of the place. And Mexico, it was again quite a different feel. The food was incredible in Mexico. The hospitality in Mexico was absolutely wonderful.
And the
people,
food?
the food. The food was so good. So I'm hoping to have such good food in El Salvador.
You
So
will.
yeah, I'm looking forward to exploring El Salvador a lot now.
Okay. And what kind of weirdest things that you have seen in Latin America, from Mexico to, well, till now you are far as El Salvador?
Wow, the weirdest things I've seen in Mexico, or Guatemala and things. Not sure about weird, but going through Guatemala, after coming through Mexico, Mexico seems quite developed in most parts. Chiapas a little bit less, but still, but still very developed. And then going through Guatemala, going through the mountains and going into these small villages. And the small villages where they might not have the modern phones at all. Small villages where they're speaking the native language, they're not speaking any Spanish. Where they're cooking over the wood, and it's really traditional. The man's going out to work, the wife's at home with the children, and the children, there could be 10 or more children in a family. And all the family living together, so in total in one place there might be 40 family members with the cousins, aunties. And that didn't feel weird, but it felt different to the culture I'm used to in England, where it's mainly the man, the wife and the children, the small family unit. So going to a place where there's a huge family unit, everyone pulling together, helping each other, lots of love and fun, that felt very different to me, but I thought it was an incredible experience. I really loved it. And it's these differences, the contrast from your actual normal life in your hometown, wherever it may be, which is the beauty of travelling. It's just seeing how the world may be different in places, but still none is wrong, none is right, they're just different, and you appreciate the differences in people.
Yes. And how is your experience till now? Because I think that coming from England, your perception of these countries could be totally different from it is.
Yeah. In going through England and also going through the United States, getting to Mexico and Central America.
And as you said, Mexico is very developed.
Comparatively, yeah,
People
definitely.
think that Mexico is like Mexico, Guatemala, El Salvador. All these countries are like just farms.
Yeah. My opinion was totally changed, actually. The media in England, it portrays Mexico and Central America as very, very in need of development and very dangerous places. On the website, the British website, telling British people what to expect when going to these countries, the suggestion is only go if you need to, really.
Yes.
They're dangerous places, you're going to get attacked. When I was in the United States before going to Mexico, the amount of times I was told I wouldn't come out alive, you would be raped, murdered or kidnapped, and the same coming into Central America. And so far I've had such wonderful experiences. Probably 95% of my experiences have been just the continual kindness of people, the friendliness of people, and being made to feel so welcome. Whereas if people went to England, I don't think the friendliness would be as much as you see in El Salvador.
Oh yeah, I have lived that.
Yeah.
Because I got lost in the underground, and nobody told
Helps
me
you.
where to go.
Yeah.
And if you get lost in here,
Yeah.
people is like, hey, come, I
know.
can take you to the place
Yeah.
where you want to go.
Definitely. I
can take some minutes of my time and take
Yeah.
you, and there is so
Yeah.
different, because people is always like
rush.
yeah, rush, and nobody has time, not even to look at you and,
Yeah.
and tell you go there.
I know. I think in England you find that people rush to save time, but in the end the rushing makes them lose all the time.
Yes.
So it is actually better take your time, and you find that in Central America so far it's a lot less rushed than Mexico, and so much less rushed than
Yeah.
America. People seem to enjoy life, the simplicity of life here more than anything else.
Yes. And even with that, you can say that Central America has everything in the cities. We have malls, we have shops,
Yeah.
we have, well, very good internet connections, we have technology, we have the best roads in El Salvador, I can say.
Yeah,
Or
they've been very kind
on-
to me, the roads.
on all Central America has very connections. You know, you can find everything, and the authenticity
Yeah.
of the places, because you go and it's not crowded like in here. We are in a gates of the devil, or devil's gate, and it's a touristic attraction, but right now is like about 12 of
No idea.
of the day, and nobody's here, you know. And it doesn't mean that it's not an attraction, because people come in here, but you are like discovering. You
Yeah.
feel that you are discovering something, because it's not crowded.
Yeah.
And it's very authentic, because people is not always trying to sell you something, you know, and you don't see so much shops
And you appreciate that, because when I come to nature, I want it to feel like nature. I don't want it to feel like the business of nature. You want to be lost in the trees, the wilderness. And here it is very quiet. The odd car might go past once every 5 minutes, and that's it. So it's really beautiful here. And this is 20 minutes from the centre of the
city.
capital, so it's
Yes.
amazing how close it is.
and the contrast of the weather, because when we come in here,
Yeah.
we were at the place that you were staying, is a weather like a little bit hot, but when we uphill, the weather is chill, and we are just like about 20 to 15 minutes
Yeah,
away.
it's a real change. It's a very nice climate here.
Okay, and what else can you say about this? What can you tell to the people that is thinking or planning to come to El Salvador or Central America?
I think the first thing is just hide all your preconceptions. Really, what you've heard from the media, what people tell you about all the scary situations, because in every country in the world, one reality might be that there's some dangers, but thousands of other realities are that they're safe, you'll have great food, you'll meet amazing, kind-hearted people. You'll see such a contrast to the country you're in before. And Central America has beauty in abundance, so much nature, so much history, lots of tradition, and such vibrant, happy people. So